Next slide. So these are the mandated services that we have by ordinance. Community organizing, outreach, and in helping with the elections outreach. Education and training. The funding program, which everybody hates. NC certification. We had a lot of fun in Westwood a couple of weeks ago. Policy guidance and compliance. So a lot of newer board members who don't understand the Brown Act, how funding works, conflict of interest, how city government works. The city attorney, they, trying to run a department with city attorneys trying to give you all this kinds of advice, and then the impact that it has on neighborhood councils can get awfully confusing. Records archiving is one of the admin support roles that we're mandated to do. These are the non-mandated services that over time surface in terms of what neighborhood councils are asking us to do. Advice, facilitation, mediation, and conflict resolution. So a lot of times people can't agree to disagree, and neighborhood councils are held hostage by disagreeing factions. So these are the neighborhood councils that tend to draw most of our attention, because this council offices say, done here, take care of this mess that was created as a result of all these other external factors. But to address that, we're actually established with the commission, the department, and Doug and Bob have agreed to lead an effort around bylaws wireframe. So we're really looking at establishing more uniformity across the system, across all neighborhood councils, because to me, a sustainable system with 89 completely different sets of bylaws does not make any sense. We've got to have some greater uniformity across all neighborhood councils, but allow for self-governance, the unique characteristics of the community in terms of board structure, et cetera. So that's an effort that I think has a lot of promise to help reduce the amount of staff time that we get taken up trying to help mediate in these situations where the bylaws are either vague or completely silent about how to help these groups process through these disagreements in a structured and transparent way. Marketing and communications. Never had a marketing campaign or a communication strategy for Angelenos. We need to get the voice out so that a lot more people can be aware of the opportunities. Time and time again, I talk to NC board presidents and I ask, how did you get involved? And I said, I got something in the mail, I got a flyer. And I just checked it out, and now I'm president. It's not that hard, right? It's just outreach to people that a local neighborhood council is there for you. NC best practices. So, we don't have to be recreating the wheel, but we can kind of capture what's being done in different neighborhood councils. There's just a tremendous amount of creative, innovative community building, addressing public safety, addressing environmental issues, and a range of other programs and services that actually help improve the quality of life. And if we can elevate those and then help share with other neighborhood councils, they can repeat those. Bunch of council directives. These are unfunded mandates coming down constantly. IT support. The city's moving to Google, so I'm hoping that we're going to develop a lot more organizational capacity in terms of providing better information and services through Google. Legal and contracting, so neighborhood councils you're not allowed to have your own contracts. We have to do that for you. That is a very time-consuming task. And then procurement, buying equipment, those kinds of things. Obviously, everybody saw the audit. The fact that we don't track the equipment inventory. Again, a lot of staff time goes into that. Okay. So these are the results of the survey. Go to the next one. Let's start wrapping up. So training and education was 22%. Everybody said that was the most important thing. Guidance and compliance was the second most important thing, 15%. Outreach for increased participation came in third. strengthening NC System's relationship and influence with city departments. So the department serving as a facilitator of relationships between neighborhood councils and city government, I think is a very important part for the department. And then the others you can see as lesser priorities, but obviously with less resources, we're probably not going to get to most of these. We have to focus on the top 3 or 4 most important functions for the department. The department availability and accountability is an issue, so we have to pay attention to that. Best practices, information that's relevant to neighborhood councils, communication, and then others, fiscal oversight, procurement, funding, came in to a lesser extent. So, last slide. As we start re-engineering and redefining through this process of what the department should be about, what's our best added value role for the neighborhood council system, what I plan on putting in place are what's called a dashboard, performance dashboard, so that you could see what we're promising to deliver, and are we delivering it? A more transparent way to be clear about this is what we're expected to do, this is what we think we can do with the resources that we have, and then collect feedback and let everybody know whether we're meeting our mark or not. And then we have to prioritize our services. I think this is a great opportunity to clarify with neighborhood councils and elected officials that all of the unfunded mandates that we're expected to achieve have to be cut out. That means ordinance changes to say that we can't do probably admin support for the neighborhood councils that have office space. Those are the things that'll have to drop off if we are indeed left with 17 staff, so that we can focus on the most important services for advancing the neighborhood council system. So with that, I'll conclude.
So this concludes the PowerPoint portion of our session today. BongHwan's going to join us up here at the new front of the room, and Dr.